Welcome to this episode of Benji's Show. This is a little bit different. It's not more of a vlog episode type. It's not more of a vlog. It's just more of a chill interview for Veterans Day. And my grandpa here was a Vietnam War veteran. My grandma was in a naval communications station. My great grandfather was in the Navy for World War II. So I guess you could say it's somewhat of a military family. So I'm here with my grandpa today. It's not really an interview, I'm just sort of listening to his stories from Vietnam. And this is more to document for me in the future, to look back and as a bright spot in the memories. So this is my grandpa. His name's Benny Lopez. He was a loadmaster.
Loadmaster. I'm a retired Air Force Master Sergeant. I served for 20 years, 3 months and 22 days. I was a loadmaster on C-130 type cargo aircraft in Vietnam. I flew as a line loadmaster, instructor loadmaster, and flight examiner loadmaster. I flew on 212 combat missions, and I logged 903 hours of combat time. I landed in Vietnam for an offload, onload, which was from general cargo to human remains, to ammunition, all types of different cargo that were required during the Vietnam War. But I landed in Vietnam 1,040 times. I made 15 airdrops in Vietnam, airdropping the 15,000 pound bombs and the 10,000 pound bombs, and they were mainly for instant helicopter pads. I flew as an instructor on the bomb drops. I started flying in Vietnam in September of 1968, being sent TDY from Dias Air Force Base to Tachikawa, Japan, and then we would pick up the mission in Cam Ranh Bay and would fly in there for a total of 16 days, then we would return back to Tachikawa, Japan. I'd done that for, the first time was for 4 months. I came back to Dias Air Force Base, and a month later I was back at Tachikawa, Japan doing the same thing. But then after that, we moved from Tachikawa Air Base, Japan to Ching Chong Kong Air Base in Taiwan, and still flying in Vietnam. And as luck would have it for me, I came back in the mid part of 1969, and a month and a half later, I was flying out of Clark Air Base in the Philippine Islands. Picked up the Vietnam mission again, 16 days in, and if you had training, when you went back to Clark Air Base, you would do the training, and then you would be back in. I enjoyed being a crew member. I flew with some of the best pilots in the world, best navigators, co-pilot, engineers that you could be associated with. I really enjoyed it. And when I came back in December 1970, I was assigned to Topeka, Kansas, Forbes Air Force Base, and that would have been in January 1971, and remained there until July of 1973. At that time, we'd start picking up the missions out of Frankfurt, Germany, or either Mildenhall in England, and would fly for 3 months. That was our home away from home, and come back. And there, I upgraded to being a flight examiner. And afterward, we were there, and they closed the base in July 1973 and went to Dias Air Force back again from July of 1973 until I retired 1 August 1977. And I was the superintendent of the Loadmaster Section, the 774th Tactical Airlift Squadron, the Green Weasels. And until I retired, I enjoyed it. I've been married to Yolanda Lopez now for a total of 59 years. And I'm the proud parent of a son, 2 daughters, and I got 13 great grandchildren. I love them all.
15 grand?
Was that too much? Or?
No, that was perfect.
You should have said how you got into the military.
I'll just ask a few.
Well, you can ask.
I'll ask a few questions if you don't mind. So, I guess the first question is, what do you think would the most interesting or exciting story that you have would be?
Well, the most interesting, possibly my first mission at Dias Air Force Base. on a tactical mission. It wasn't exciting, but it was, you can say it's exciting. I felt so airsick. I have never felt this bad in my life. And that was the introduction into the Tactical Airlift Command. Flying low level in the heat, and that was not fun. The airplane bouncing up and down, and you were airdropping cargo, airdropping personnel.
What advice would you have to young people now looking to go into the military or specifically the Air Force?
For the Air Force, get your education. You can get it in the military now, but it's all about education. Come in with a good attitude, and if you can, some college, but you can get all your college through the military, and you can travel all over the world. If you get into the flying field, from being a loadmaster, if you're fortunate enough and go to college and come out as a commissioned officer, you can be a pilot, and you can travel all over the world, flying from fighters to cargo aircraft to rescue helicopters. So the main thing, education, and be committed, because in the military they give the orders. You don't give the orders unless you're a supervisor. They give the orders and accept the orders, and it's a good, especially if you stay in the military and retire, the benefits after retirement, from your retirement and pensions at an early age, and all your health care.
So, what would you say your proudest achievement is while flying?
While flying, that I achieved the rank that I did in the short time that I did, and flying as a loadmaster, and then of course flying as an instructor, and then flying as a flight examiner instructor. And being the superintendent of the section, I got a chance to meet a lot of good young men coming in. Some would stay in for 4 years, some of them would move on into other fields. But I got to meet a lot of bright young men throughout my military career.
Well, I think that is what we have time for. That was great. That was great. Is there any last words you'd like to give to the audience?
Well, other than that, your veterans suffered a lot. When I say suffered a lot, I mean being away from home, their families, their children. So when you see a veteran, give him the salute, you appreciate him, and don't look down on the veteran. He was there to try to make this a better country for everyone. Thank you.
All right, if you watched to the end, thank you so much for watching. This has been Stories from a Vietnam War Veteran. I think that's what I'm going to title it, Stories from a Vietnam War Veteran. But y'all have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. Follow your dreams. Everybody's telling you you can't. I'm telling you you can. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one.